I think we're live now. Good evening and welcome to October 2023's edition of our live Facebook Q&A from Crawley Borough Council. Good evening, my name's Councillor Michael Jones, I'm leader at Crawley Borough Council and I'm very happy to be joined tonight by my Cabinet Member for Public Protection, Yasmin, who will be here to give us a little idea of what she's been doing and what's going on, and also answer any questions you might have on public protection, whether that's crime, antisocial behaviour, public safety, anything like that, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So please post any questions for us in the comments. Our elves are very busy at the moment getting ready to take questions in the comments. So before we start though, I would like to just mention the events in the Middle East. I understand that some people were saying that they intended to ask us about that tonight. Can I just say at the beginning that, I mean, this council, myself, all councillors condemn terrorism and unwarranted aggression in all its forms, and clearly there is now a humanitarian crisis in the Middle East. But what I need to say to everyone and be entirely upfront is Crawley Borough Council has no influence on foreign affairs. That's Parliament's jurisdiction. But we hear our residents' deep concern at what's happening. But to be honest, this isn't something we can assist people with. They will have to go higher than us. So I hope that addresses it tonight. But I hope people will understand that consequently that this isn't something that we'll be taking questions on tonight, because it's just quite literally something that we've got no more influence on than anyone else, and you really need to speak to your MP to progress anything, because that's the level that this needs to be taken. It's all foreign policy. So on that basis, we'll start. I had an advanced question from Alison and a few people to do with Ditchling Hill Play Park, which they believe isn't in a particularly good state in Southgate. It's been suggested to me that the kids are falling over there every day, which I'm not sure is the case. The council's not aware of any accidents in Ditchling Hill that have been reported to us, at least. We did have issues, Alison, with the grass areas that I think you raised back in September, and the play staff have visited on a couple of occasions to infill some of the larger holes that were there in the surface. It would appear that someone or something has taken to digging in parts of the play park, and there's probably been some erosion with the high footfall. So the team are going to be going out again to get the deeper holes and some of the areas of wear filled in and levelled as soon as possible. So I think one of the issues we've got here is that the play area is predominantly grass. Being a popular site, the grass does wear in areas of high footfall. Now we have grass matting around some of the site, which is intended to help with the establishment of grass as a surface to sort of soak up any falls. We will be looking at it. The tree stump's going to be removed. And this has been added to the list of things to do. I hope it can be done fairly soon. So I think I got given quite a long answer to your question, Alison, and other residents. If you want to email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk, I will send you through the full answer. But can I just reassure everyone that all our play areas are regularly inspected to make sure that they are absolutely safe. And really, I can assure anyone that anything fell below a safety standard, that play area would not be open. You know, that's absolutely the case. And I have some play area staff who are very passionate and very, very dedicated to what they do. And I can tell you they would have sleepless nights if they thought for a minute that any of our children were unsafe. So, but we do take your point that sometimes things need to be improved, and we are working on that. So, right, on that basis, keep your questions coming in. I will use our super duper technology to check our comments. There's no questions at the moment, but keep them coming. As I said, this is particularly a moment, or I say moment, this is a session where if you've got any issues to do with crime or antisocial behaviour, you can let us know. Of course, if there's anything that you would like to raise and you feel it's not necessarily something you want to share with potentially thousands of people watching the internet, you notice I use the word potentially there, you can email me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk. That's probably the best way to get hold of me. Or if it's to do with public protection, there's yasmin.khan@crawley.gov.uk. And all our contact details, and indeed all of the councillors, are available on the Crawley Borough Council website. And I believe one of our elves will put that up in the chat in the comments at some point quite soon. So. Hopefully that answers the advanced question that we had come in, and that's there. We haven't got any questions yet, so keep your questions coming. Did you want to say something now, Yas, on any of the stuff going on? I sort of save people from the drone of my monotone for a while. Yes.
Hi. Okay. I would like to tell you a little bit about my role. I'm the chair of Safer Crawley Partnership, which is a statutory partnership across Crawley Borough Council, Sussex Police, West Sussex Fire and Rescue, West Sussex County Council, the the Police and the Crime Commission Office, and the voluntary sector. Our priorities from 2022 to 2025 are violence against women and girls, serious and organised crime, youth-related, antisocial behaviour, drug-related harm, protecting vulnerable individuals, cost of living related crimes. So anything like this, you can contact me. Michael did give you my email address, which is yasmin.khan@crawley.gov.uk. So and also I want to come out and speak to communities and get ideas how we can help and how we can make Crawley safer, please. And please do come forward. Anything you want to discuss regarding these issues, we are here to help, and we're working very closely with the police to help. Some interesting things we've got happening. We've got a free bike marking and registration happening in the Memorial Gardens on Saturday, 11th of November from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. So that is, take your bikes and an ID, please, and get your bikes marked and registered. So that should deter the people from taking the bikes, and if they are taken, hopefully they will get returned to yourselves. So yeah, that's a free registration. And
yeah, well, it'll make it a lot easier for the police to, if it's got your postcode on, won't it? So
yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Have you got a bike, Mike?
No, I don't, funny enough. I should really. It'd be one good way of keeping fit, but yes, no. Yeah.
And if you ask me, I've got one, and it's been in the shed for over 10 years.
Yes, well, it'll be very safe then, won't it? I suppose nothing else.
So it's very. Oh no, I shouldn't say that in the shed.
Well, unless they know where you live, which they might do if your address is on the public website. Okay, right, never mind. Yes, I'm giving people ideas now, right? No,
I've got Ring doorbells. I've got security cameras, and I've got Liam burgers. I've got loads of security.
Okay, and a big Rottweiler. Yes.
Yeah, Rottweiler. So yes. I don't think that's going to be happening.
No, sure. Right, okay then.
Okay,
lovely.
Let's move on.
Okay, well, just on that basis, there's lots of great things going on with the Safer Crawley Partnership work, isn't there?
Yes.
And one of the things we're trying to do this year is really open out and get that dialogue going with members of the public. Now, oh, thank you, Sadia. That's very nice of you. But what we would hope to be doing is actually having some engagement events, and I think we might have one coming up. Do we?
Yes, we've got one. Sorry, a Safer
Yeah.
Crawley engagement event. So that officers and I we're planning a Safer Crawley engagement event, which will provide an opportunity for residents and businesses to meet us and the police. More information will be released in the new year. So we've got that coming up.
Absolutely.
So that is something to look forward to and keep an eye out.
And that will be the start, we hope, of something being held reasonably regularly through the
Yes.
partnership. Because one of the things that we were getting told as councillors quite a lot was that people really wanted to be able to tell the police directly what they thought was going on and sharing their views. And we're happy to facilitate that. I mean, obviously, I think the important thing is that people, if these things are held, that people support them and they actually use them, because,
Yes.
you know, otherwise people telling us of their frustrations and they don't actually take those opportunities. It's, I mean, obviously, today as well is another opportunity. We have some of our community safety elves listening very carefully to any points you might want to make. But at the moment, we haven't got any questions, we haven't got any comments. So you'll be making all the community safety elves think that Crawley's a very safe place indeed, which you know, which would be very nice to be able to believe. But we are aware of a few things that make us think that we don't yet live in a perfect world. So keep it coming. Some lovely comments in on the chat already. But it would be good if you've got any questions. Because what happens if I don't get any questions is I tell you what I've been doing and what I think, which you know, as everyone knows, I can fill the hour with if necessary, but isn't possibly as useful for people as actually answering their questions. But one of the things we've been doing is we're out and about as always. And one of the things I had a great pleasure recently of being able to do was visit Crawley College with Councillor Atif Nawaz and Bob Noyce, because we went to see the first assets that have been purchased under a £4.5 million agreement that we've signed with Crawley College, which is the Invest in Skills project, which is going to improve job skills training using part of the 21 million that's been allocated from the government's Towns Fund. And it was a fantastic visit. Actually, we saw several immersive classrooms which uses virtual and augmented reality technology to provide realistic training settings. That sounds a bit dry, but it was a bit like Minority Report. If you've seen that film, it was you know, it was real revelation, some of the stuff that's coming forward. But the other thing is as well is it's driving what they're calling a green village at Crawley College, which is teaching the skills for the new technology to sort of grow that green economy, and it was really wonderful. I know Atif and Bob and I were immensely impressed. I mean, there's some fantastic work that goes on at Crawley College that I think a lot of residents just wouldn't even be aware of, quite honestly, because it's all tucked away, you know, and sort of towered over by that dreadful 60s monstrosity of brutalist architecture that is the tower. But apart from my aesthetic objections about the tower block, it's really wonderful to see that going on, and it's all part and parcel of some really good work that's going on in Crawley, where actually I think we're leading the way. So that's really good.
So how would people find out about these courses?
That's a really good question. I would hope that Crawley College has something up on this. I know we've been recently putting out some press on this, so maybe the communications elves will share our report. I think the best thing to do would be to go to make any inquiries at the communications, but I think at Crawley College, but I think there's some real opportunities there, and of course hopefully for local people as well, which is really welcome.
And we can help promote it as well, isn't it?
Yes.
If we promote it, then we can guide them, and people can go to college and contact college.
Yeah. Well, it's good that we've got. And there's a wide range of things. Obviously, I mean, the Crawley College does some fantastic sort of work at FE level. So we do have some good advantages there. Sort of moving on to something slightly less serious and very cheerful. We've been very lucky at Tilgate Nature Centre um, to to in the past months, we've had the patter of tiny paws, I believe, in the shape of a baby capybara has been born to its parents. He was born on the 1st of June to first-time parents, Carol and Clarence, who have taken to parenthood just like a capybara to water. I understand from the manager Ben that Carol and Clarence weren't immediate firm friends, but they get on very well now as the new baby is evidence of that. And so basically, we're very lucky about that. But this is the exciting thing, particularly if you've got children, grandchildren, know some young people. We've got a naming competition, which has been set up. And so while the three capybaras are enjoying all their time splashing about together in their paddock, we're very keen for the keepers to get a name for the baby, and we thought that your youngsters might have some ideas. So the opportunity's been thrown open, and the Tilgate Park Facebook page, there's a post from the 19th of October, which we might even be able to put a link on. I think there's 4 suggestions, of which I quite like Consuela, but that's probably because of my affection for a TV show that's got a character called that in it. If you've got anything on that, then that's a really that's a really good thing for your youngsters to have a look at. And of course, Tilgate Zoo is open. It's half term, and you've still got a few days left. You could do a lot worse. It's great value certainly compared to other of our competitors in the market, and there's some really lovely and unusual animals that you wouldn't necessarily sort of expect, but are still quite intriguing to see. Anyway, that's that. So I'm going to have yes, and the link's gone up. Thank you. We've had a question from Dawn. Hello, Dawn. Do we know how much COVID there is in Crawley at the moment? I did have the answer to that. I think it's... and we'll just get that now. I think it's been added to at the moment. So it's a full answer, Dawn. So lovely, thank you. Right. There's been... We don't tend to get the data quite as adequately as we used to, but in the last 7 days we've had 21 reported, so it is increasing nationally, which is unfortunate. I think at the moment there seems to be so much going around that it's probably difficult to identify what's COVID and what's else is on. But Susan, thank you for your comment about it not being a safe place. I probably need a bit more information than that if you've got any specific examples. I think saying it is everywhere is not necessarily the fullest reflection of what's going on. But okay, we haven't had any more questions or comments. Keep them coming. Was there anything else you'd like to add? Yes, on the public safety front. Yeah, I think you've got a few things.
I've got a few things. Okay, people can report on. It's called My Crawley. You go on My Crawley, and so that's we made reporting easier for community safety. So you could go onto My Crawley and you can report various issues, and we will investigate them. And if you can give us dates, times, locations, and pictures. So this platform can be found on visit my.crawley.gov.uk. And you can report antisocial behaviour. You can report any sort of things that you can think that we can help you with. I'm really excited about the CCTV cameras that have been put up in Memorial Gardens. So these were like really high definition with enhanced night vision. 2 cameras were put up in Memorial Park, and since then we've had really good feedback. That I think there's not been much activity like the bad way. We've had like not people I think, and the businesses are quite happy that those cameras have made a difference. And we can carry on. As soon as we get more funding, we'll be going around town and we're going to be putting up more cameras when we can.
That's good. Well, we're aware of certain areas that have got particular problems, and so we're certainly not dismissive of that.
No.
There's been some work done in the high street as well recently to ensure that visibility and part of the area is improved, so that some of the people who might not be exercising exemplary behaviour, let's put it that way, can be seen. So we've got that. I also think there's going to be an upgrade, isn't there, on some of the technology, because some of the CCTV probably needs to go digital. So that's really welcome.
We're going to have that.
Yes.
And also, I think I'm quite excited about. We're going to have a police pod. It's called. It's like a hub that's going to be in the high street, and where people can go and the residents can go and they can report crimes. They can speak to police officers there. You will have officers from Crawley Borough Council. So I think that's really, really exciting, because I do see a lot of complaints on Facebook where people are saying that we can't, we don't get any reports from the police, or we can't get hold of anybody. But the police pod will be, I think, at least for 6 months.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 6 months in the high street. So this is your chance. Please, you make use of it.
We've very much listened to the feedback we've had from local residents and also businesses in the high street. So, I mean, to give the police their credit, they have responded to those concerns, and things are taking shape, which is welcome. But it was necessary.
We worked really hard. We didn't want it to go anywhere else. We did fight for our pod. We wanted the pod in our town. So so it's coming on the 30th. So this is your chance. Make use of it.
I think while you mentioned My Crawley just now, I think it's probably a good time to give a general plug, which is generally My Crawley, which is the council's online portal for all things. You can do an awful lot, do not just report the bad things. It's you can sign up to receive your bills via email. It's faster, it saves on printing, postage, which helps us keep the council tax down. It also is good for the environment, and it's not just your bills, but obviously council tax is something you can use if you register for My Crawley, business rates, allotments if you've got one, your green bins, leasehold services, premises licences, taxi licences, and Lifeline. So there's a whole range of things, and I probably haven't mentioned everything.
And I think housing applications, I think, can be done on there as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's right. So yes. Okay. So right, we've got that. I've done my monthly plug for that. So no doubt registrations will soar as a result. So let's go through a few more things. Everyone's very quiet and reserved, actually, which is a shame, actually, because last month we got quite a few questions. So keep them coming. There's 2 new comments. So that's us. So okay, right. In that case, we'll move on. As ever, there's loads of things going on in the borough, and I always want to be very positive and say that actually Crawley is a really vibrant, dynamic place. There's always stuff going on, and that's really very welcome. People may well have noticed throughout October, the town centre bid has been putting on Creepy Crawley, which has been some great little local events, which have been very entertaining. And hopefully there's a link through to some of the ones as we approach the end of the month, but there's still some left to go, I think. I'm fairly certain. I definitely saw one advertised. The big plug, while that's all going on, is it's a big sleep out for Crawley Open House tonight, which they have every year at Queen Square, which is a way for the charity to raise money. So if you see lots of people out there tonight, if you're walking through for whatever reason, that will be why, rather than anything that the council's done. In terms of other things going on in the town centre, the Continental Street Market started today, and that's on till Sunday, I believe, 26th to 29th. And that's always great. Atif and I won't be in our sombreros, but they're saying that...
You're supposed to be taking me this time.
Well, you can come with me if you like. I'll treat you to something. There's no shortage of food to sort of choose from. There'll be something I'm sure we can all have. So there is that. Big plug on Saturday. We've got a big community tree planting event. We're going to create a brand new area of woodland in Tilgate Park on Saturday, the 28th, from 9 a.m. And this planting is part of our response to the climate crisis and our commitment to the Queen's Green Canopy Initiative. It's really lovely to see that happening. The meeting point at 9 a.m. on Saturday is going to be at the barn, which is near the entrance to the Nature Centre. Tools, gloves and guidance will be provided, but you'll need to bring suitable clothing and sturdy shoes because we can't promise that the ground won't be quite muddy and not do the best for your clothes. So if you'd like to take part, if you can email our tree officers at trees@crawley.gov.uk, that would be really helpful, but obviously we'd just like to see you there. And we do have plenty of trees that need to go in, and it will be a lovely event because obviously this will be doing things which will be creating creatures who will be there for many, many years to come, we hope, and outlive us all, I suspect. Certainly some of the trees we'll be planting will definitely have a very long lifespan. So, we've had a question from Colin on road marking change leading up to the Town Hall roundabout. Colin, I really hate to say this to you because I have to say it on most occasions, and this isn't us copping out. Unfortunately, roundabouts are a highways issue, and all highways issues are dealt with by West Sussex County Council. There may well be issues with highways that I'm very sympathetic about, but we have no influence whatsoever at CBC. You could contact one of your county councillors. I'm sure our elves can send a link through, or indeed the Highways Department of West Sussex County Council, but that's probably the best I can do. I'm afraid I don't get an awful lot of communications these days from West Sussex about what's going on with highways, so I really can't help there. Sorry about that. We've covered a few of the big things that are going on. I suppose the other major thing is on the Sunday the 5th of November is a veteran car run. Watch the vehicles as they pass through Crawley on their way to the finishing line in Brighton on Sunday the 5th of November. I think the route is they're coming down the boulevard. How they're getting to the boulevard, and I think they're going to the Horth from there. I'm not entirely sure, but that is on. So there are people who like vintage cars, of course, and I am one of them. And so let's hope that will be going on. And the final big event to mention that's coming up, that's fun and games, will be the Christmas tree lights switch on, which is very nice, and we do that every year, of course. And there'll be festive entertainment, Christmas carols, provided courtesy of our events team. And then the lights will be switched on Saturday the 18th of November. So all of these things and indeed many more, you can visit crawley.gov.uk for /events for more details. So that's all good fun, and I've got a few other things I've been doing or will be doing shortly, but I'll come on to those later. Now, where are we? We haven't. Everyone's been very reserved at the moment. So did you? Oh, okay. Yes.
So Michael's done the fun bit.
Yes. Okay. Right. You do. Yeah. That's right. You do. Yeah. You do the serious bit
now. Okay. This one's not too serious. So, West Sussex County Council a community safety consultation. Okay, ends on the 3rd of November. So West Sussex County Council is running a community safety consultation to get your views on community safety and for you to put forward any concerns or suggestions about how we and West Sussex County Council, police and other partners can improve community safety in your community. Responding to a consultation is an investment in your community. and this valuable insight helps to shape our work. Visit yourvoice.westsussex.gov.uk. That's yourvoice.westsussex.gov.uk. So that's your chance to come forward.
Good
now,
stuff.
Yeah, so another serious bit now, so I feel I'm going to upset people. From 8th of November, possession of nitrous oxide without a legitimate reason will become a criminal offence, and it's now going to be classed as Class C drug. Persistent users or those found to be dealing nitrous oxide could face prison, and is something we welcome. Nitrous oxide use can be incredibly dangerous, particularly when mixed with alcohol, and this change in the law is long overdue. We will support police as they work so hard to implement these new powers, and again we encourage you to report issues with nitrous oxide to the police directly.
Yeah. Nitrous oxide, which is used to be called laughing gas, there's been an increased use of it. It can be dangerous in the sense that particularly one of the effects is of continued usage is peripheral neuropathy, which is a very unpleasant condition. So we don't want to encourage people to start getting that, quite honestly. If you've seen any sort of silver canisters discarded anywhere, then this is precisely what people are using. Now, to have it in that sort of quantity or that sort of level, you've got to be doing sort of industrial scale cake baking, quite frankly, which we're fairly convinced when we see people going around with this that they're not. Obviously, let Crawley Borough Council know if you know of anywhere where there's a large number of discarded canisters, or indeed any at all. I think we want to get the neighbourhood services team to clear it away, if nothing else. But it also gives us an idea of where this is actually happening. Of course, if people are daft enough to discard it there. We do take it seriously. In my view, it's taken more than a little time for the government to actually do the right thing in terms of getting this criminalised and sorted out. So, but you know, the message has got to go out there, particularly if you've been doing it openly, that you know that's not going to be tolerated in going forward, because what you're doing there is now illegal. So, there we are. Yeah. Okay,
and I would like to mention antisocial behaviour app. Since May, we've been using the ASB app and encouraging residents reporting antisocial behaviour to use the app to report incidents and evidence ASB, their experience, i.e. photos, noise, recordings. Having the use of an app makes it easy and accessible for those with a smartphone and device. So it's really, really important. Please use the app. You're not breaking the law by using that because somebody got really worried about it. But yes, please use the app and report any antisocial behaviour. And I'm pleased to say that I've got an email from another council yesterday.
Oh, yes.
I won't mention the name at the moment, but yes. they were really impressed that we are one of the largest towns in West Sussex, and we are 15% down on antisocial behaviour. So really proud of that. So really proud of our team.
I know who contacted you because they contacted me first, so I said to contact you. Okay, but yes, no, it is. It's
he
nice.
wants to learn from me.
Absolutely. Well, and who wouldn't? And who wouldn't?
Yes. So we're going to be teaching. So other councils want to take examples from us. So I'm going to be teaching them now.
I think it's a real credit to our local Safer Crawley partnership and the work that's gone on locally, which our anti-social behaviour team. Yeah, really grateful to them and the work that they've done and the work they are doing. It is amazing because I've been looking at the figures and how the incidents have reduced. Yeah, well done, people. Feel free. Yes.
You don't have to live with it. Like if you are upset with your neighbours, come to us, talk to us, instead of approaching them. If you can, approach them nicely. But if you think that it's going to get into something serious, but do report it to us, and we'll deal with it. Yeah, we recognise that not
things don't always run smoothly.
No.
There are mediation services available, but also if things get serious and can't be resolved at an informal level, then the council do have a very active team who do aim to try to be fair to everyone, and therefore probably upset both sides. But in that respect, we do try to resolve the issue. Okay, right. We'll move on then. We've had a few comments from Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn loves her green bin and thinks it's excellent value, and I agree with you thoroughly, Dawn. I think for what people pay for it, it's an excellent service. The green bins, of course, are anyone's available to sign up for it, particularly if you're an avid gardener. And it is a good way to help Crawley Borough Council up its recycling rates, which have been in discussion recently. So why not consider getting one? Open House is doing some incredible work in Crawley. I agree, Dawn. And you also suggest that we mention 10 Tiny Toes, which is a local charity that I think has just moved into council premises in West Green, off the opposite or near the Charis Centre, near the hospital. It's the old. Is it the old Age UK? Is it the old? No, I'm not sure it's the Age UK one. Is it the blood?
British Red Cross.
British Red Cross, that's it. I think was the British Red Cross one, but the two are quite easy to mix up, and I was just about to do it. So I think 10 Tiny Toes, for anyone who doesn't notice it, and thanks, Dawn, for the plug, is a charity locally based that we've actually, I think. We've supported at the council before, and we're looking to do in other ways to see what we can do. But they're there to help young parents who are just starting out, who've got sort of tiny babies, and babies need all sorts of things, don't they?
Yes.
I understand from being the eldest of 5 as well.
And babies are not
clothes,
cheap.
things like that, and they are there to help with support, and they practical as well as sort of just advice. So they're well worth tracking down. We might even have a link to them somewhere along the line, but that might be a challenge.
They are on Facebook.
Yes. They are on Facebook.
Yes.
So yes, and we've put it up already. So there we are. That's my elves efficiency for you. That's excellent. They'll all get I don't know, an extra stick of rock at Christmas or something, I'm sure, for that. So what is it? What is it? Santa's grotto? I don't know what you paid. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Does it? Right. Let's move on. Dawn. So 10 Tiny Toes. Yeah, absolutely. Dawn, you've mentioned clothing, toys, essential items. And I think that's all the comments. No one's got any questions. Sorry, apart from Collins, which I've had to say I can't answer. But if anyone has got any questions or comments, now's definitely the time to ask. Time is running short. So on that basis, did you have anything else, Yas, at all? Well, so it's not running that short, but we're well over halfway now.
No, I think I've done my main points, but I would just say that please just come forward to the residents. That we want Crawley to be a safe town and a town that you enjoy living in. So definitely, please come forward with any concerns you have. If you're not happy about something, if you think that we can help you with, we will definitely do our best to help you. And we are working, like I said before, working really closely with the police to try and make Crawley a safe town. I know people are concerned. There have been knife crimes and people are concerned about them. And yes, we are working in the background. The police are doing a good job and we are working with them. And now, like I said, you've got the pod. So if you're not comfortable going online, you can go and visit the officers that are going to be in the pod. And like I said, you will have Crawley wardens, and you will have officers from Crawley Borough Council,
Yeah.
and sometimes you might see me as well.
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised how little crime and antisocial behaviour anyone seems to be noticing in Crawley at the moment. I mean, no issues at the parades or anything. It would appear from the silence from the comments. Well, that's
I told you I'm doing a good
well,
job.
you must be.
I must be doing a brilliant job.
You know, sort of, I think the Metropolitan Police will want your services at this rate.
Yes.
Okay, well, just a few other things to finish off, because, as I said, Crawley's got so much going on. We were very, the Chief Executive and myself were very lucky, along with several other councillors last night, to go to St Catherine's Hospice to join them for a commemorative leaving arrangement. For those who don't know, St Catherine's Hospice is moving to brand new accommodation in Woodgate near Pease Cottage. So they will be leaving the Malthouse Road hub in Southgate, which they've been at for probably 40 years now, which is obviously quite an emotional time for many of the staff, many of the residents. They've been having visits, so people can go and visit it one last time. They are also doing tours for anyone who'd like to see the new hospice arrangements. So that's really good. And it was a lovely event last night to meet all the trustees, some of the staff, and remember all the great things that happened there. It was opened, I believe, by the Queen Mother 40 years ago, and I think Princess Diana might even have been there. I think someone mentioned, but. I think it's a place that's got some real history, but also it's going to have a positive future as well, because when St Catherine's go, it's going to become extra care accommodation, which is accommodation for people who are not quite ill enough to have to go into full-time residential care, but not quite well enough for sheltered housing, and we don't have a lot of it in Crawley, so that's really, really good news. I think that's something we did. Recently as well, I went with Councillor Atif Nawaz to join our West Sussex Councillor colleagues to see the completion of the Phase 2 of Manor Royal, which essentially is the next step before we get a big transport connection hub in the middle of Manor Royal, which one would argue is probably needed for a big industrial estate of the size of Manor Royal. It was very nice to see. There's a whole new bus lane that's gone in, which should help public transport, and that was very nice to see. We've had another question from Dawn. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. How do you get the ASB app? You get the ASB app by referring to the ASB team. So when you report to them, they will go over things with you, and then eventually you will get the app.
Sure.
So it is the antisocial behaviour team.
Lovely, thank you, Yas. So any other questions? Get them in now. Final couple of things from me. Again, there's been some really good things going on, and there's a few coming up in the future. People might have made it to High Street Live on the 30th of September, which was run by the Crawley Festival. I understand a good time was had by all. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it down, but I understand it was a very lively event, and people who were there had a good time. We're always very grateful to Crawley Festival. They do this as an annual event. They also do a few other things around the town, particularly a big event in the summer at the Memorial Gardens, which is always very good. I also had the great pleasure to be invited with the Mayor, Julie Hart, and Sue Mullins, our Cabinet of Community Engagement, to Burley's Woods Care Home, which was celebrating, I think it was its 20th anniversary, with Shaw Healthcare. Indeed, I think they've got a few residents who have been there almost since the very beginning. So it was lovely to see. It seemed to be a great community, and our congratulations to everyone. And also, I was very pleased to join the High Sheriff and the Lord Lieutenant of West Sussex for Black History Month at Crawley Museum, which their launch event was on the 7th of October. There's been a display at Crawley Museum for the whole month, and I think it will be there for a little while longer. So always well worth a visit down to Crawley Museum. There's some really interesting stuff there. So those are the things that have happened to come. As far as the council is concerned, I've got two things that I will be going to. One, I'm sure, with Yasmin, is Raj Sharma House. Many people remember the late Councillor Raj Sharma, and we are in the position where we will be dedicating a house on Brighton Road, a new development, to him next week. That will be a very meaningful event. There's many of us who miss Raj very much indeed, he was taken from us in very sad circumstances during the COVID period. So this is going to be a lovely way to commemorate him. He was a Southgate councillor. This is in Southgate, so we will be doing that next week. And also at some point next week, I will be bringing my talents and skills to bear in appointing a new deputy chief executive with my colleagues. So that is, of course, one of the more important things that we are entrusted. I will be looking forward to doing that. But we recently bade farewell to our chief executive, Natalie Brahma Pearl, and we have a new chief executive, the new chief elf, Ian Duke, who I shall name because that's a matter of public record. And but Ian was our deputy, and so we do need to recruit to that. So I will be keeping busy. Rest assured, to members of the public, we will be addressing all the subjects, big and small, good and bad, as ever. I'm just looking to see if we've got any more questions, or we haven't. So on that basis, was there anything you would like to add? Yes?
I just wanted to ask about Raj Sharma. So if you can tell people the house that's going to be named, what is it all about?
Well, it's a new house that Crawley Homes has acquired, which has got, I think it's approaching 30 families off the local waiting list, and into permanent accommodation, which is really good in these times. That is part of our ongoing commitment as a council to provide as much council housing as we can. We do it under very challenging circumstances, not just water neutrality, but the finances of it are challenging. But that is because we are determined to do as much as we can to ensure that we've got this to offer our local residents. It's frustrating because it's still not enough. We still have a very large waiting list, and we have, and as people who've been following council discussions at full council will know, we have issues with people seeking temporary accommodation because they've been evicted from their private rented accommodation for whatever reason. Now that has reminded me, actually, everyone. So this is exciting. Take my word for it. Is that technology has arrived at Crawley Borough Council. We are in the 21st century. Or at least the late 20th, because we now have live webcasting facilities, which will be in place for the next full council in December. But if anyone would like to see what was discussed at our last full council, that is available on the council's dedicated YouTube channel, which is CBC Digital, I believe it's named, if you need to search on YouTube. But you can watch the full discussions, which also included quite a lot to do with some of the issues that have come up tonight. So we're very excited about this, very pleased. It's taken a little bit of time to get the new town hall up and running with the new technology, which has been a learning curve for everyone. But thanks to our democratic services staff, who have probably suffered quite a lot in the setting up of this, and my impatience as well. But that's another story. But we're really keen to be able to reach out and so people can see what's going on, because we're very proud of what we do, and we think it's important that people have that link, not just things through live Facebook question Q&A sessions, but also that. So that will all be in place. We'll be broadcasting live for that, and the hope is that as well as full council, that in the future, in the not too distant future, we'll also be broadcasting committee meetings, big and small. So if you're interested in whatever business the council is doing, that will be open to you. So on that basis, thank you very much to Yas for joining me. I do enjoy my sessions with my cabinet members. Last month was Chris Mullins, and we talked about leisure. This month we've talked about crime and antisocial behaviour, and the lack of it by the contributions tonight. And no, to be serious for a minute, we are very aware of where there are issues, and we're doing all we can, and I do want to pay tribute to our community safety team who do a fantastic job. Of course, the council is only part of the equation there. The police very much have a role to play in crime fighting, and I have to remind some of our councillors that sometimes, but we do what we can as well. So thank you very much.
A lot's
indeed.
been done in the background, which
Yeah.
residents are not aware of. So yeah, a lot's been done in the background. We are trying our best, and like I said, any questions, any concerns, just contact us.
Yeah. Next month I shall be joined, if you've got any big issues about grass cutting or the general state of the borough, by my colleague Councillor Bob Noyce, who will be happy to take on board any of your issues. Wayward trees, although then we'll get into a discussion about whether it's a county tree or a borough tree, no doubt. We will be able to answer all your questions, hopefully, on that next month. But of course, you don't have to wait till next month. You can always contact me at michael.jones@crawley.gov.uk. There is also the main Crawley switchboard, if you want to cut out a middleman and talk directly. And I'm sure that the general contact details can be popped up by the elves to save my memory. But so thank you, everyone. It's been another decent session, and obviously, if there's anything you'd like to hear or see included in these in the future, then get in touch and let us know. We're always very receptive to that. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And on that basis, I will wish everyone very good evening indeed, and see you next month. We will send out details in advance of when that will be. Okay, take care.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you.